Number 20 is DW Gets Lost. I like this episode because I just how silly this all is. I really like how unrealistic some of those imaginary scenes are. And I really like how it was just all along it was 5 minutes all along. Unlike other episodes, it doesn't feel it does like other episodes does feel pointless, but unlike those other episodes, it actually feels funny to me. It's actually something I really liked. Number 19 is Sick as a Dog. Arthur cares for Pell in this episode, and that's a good thing. Number 18 is Arthur's Almost Boring Day. Arthur's Almost Boring Day is an episode about Arthur. It's an episode with so many funny rain go away variations. Like how Buster says rain go away come again on a school day, and then Francine says it's raining, it's pouring, old man snoring, referring to her dad. And I really like how Brain's Rain Go Away is actually is a verbose version. Although it's my least favorite of them, I still like how he sings a verbose version of Rain Go Away. Shoving I really like actually it works here because it works as comedy. It does shove to be at it does shove his intelligence to people, but to the viewers, but I think it works as a funny scene. And I really like how Arthur was able to make something good out of his boring day. Number 17 is the half-baked sale. I think half-baked sale is a pretty fun episode to watch. This is the episode just right after Arthur's almost boring day. Grandma Thora has to make goodies for the bake sale, but Arthur is scared because people might think negatively of her because of her terrible cooking. The bake sale, if his grandma had help out. Wait. I really like how McGrady actually interacts with Thor in this episode. Arthur wants to help Grandma Thora, but he stops people from eating her cookies. But it's for a good reason, because he thought her cookies were bad. Number 16 is Arthur's Lost Library book. It is the first major appearance of Binky, and although it doesn't show that he's a bully in this episode, due to how the series actually says that Binky is a bully, and that there was a hand that took Arthur's Lost Library book. I knew it was Binky, but it was actually just Binky finding something from Arthur. Number 15 is Grandpa Dave's Old Country Farm. Not only did Arthur and DW have fun with the farm in this episode, I also did. That's all I have to say about this episode. Aside from, it's a pretty fun episode after the after its mediocre sister episode, because Arthur and DW were clearly not in a good situation, and neither were their parents. Number 14 is Arthur accused. Buster cracks his first case in this episode, and I really like how it's all told in a backstory, much like Sue Ellen moves in. And this is actually a case Buster has to crack, or and he just wants to help out Arthur, but it also actually helped the whole school and helped Miss McGrady. Number 13 is Arthur's birthday. I just like how Arthur's birthday clashes with Muffy's birthday in this episode. And the ending was pretty sweet. I also like this scene. I also like, coincidentally, the boys and girls teasing each other. I really like the boys versus girls plots in this show, and this is one of them. And I really like how Arthur and Francine want them to get along. Number 12 is Arthur's cousin Catastrophe. Wait, also I forgot to mention that Binky ties. Also, I forgot to mention that on Arthur's birthday, Binky ties the rope around his waist because he knows that he's heavy, and Prunella ties it around a metal bar, and no one wins. And I actually think that was a pretty funny joke in this episode. Now on to Arthur's cousin Catastrophe. I like Mo. I really like Mo, and she does a, and I think and she does and she becomes much more friendly to Arthur, and Arthur realizes that she is not as bad as he thought she was, or she became better. Number 11 is Locked in the Library. I think this episode actually has some suspense. And both of them were really hard, and both Arthur and Francine were really hard at work. I don't like them fighting, but I really like how it all goes back to normal in the end. Number 10 is Arthur cleans up. I just like this episode because I really like how it involves a lot of the kids in this episode. That's all. Number 9 is Miss Fortune Teller. It's just a really silly episode about how they actually don't celebrate Prunella's birthday, but rather her what half birthday. I think that's just a silly concept on its own, but I really like how I think Miss Fortune Teller is one of those fortune teller plots that not everything they say is actually true. Sure, I do not think this episode is as good as the fortune teller from Avatar, but that's because Avatar's episode was actually 22 minutes and this one's just 11 minutes. And considering how good Avatar's fortune teller episode was, that it actually incorporates fantasy into it, it actually makes more fun. However, Miss Fortune Teller is honestly the episode that tells its moral better, in my opinion, due to Arthur being a slice of life show and all. Number 8 is Arthur's Spelling Trouble. The aardvark rap is funny. It's actually pretty fun, and I really like how everyone spells everything, and there are just so many good scenes in this episode. And Arthur wins in the end. But once again, I don't really like the W because once again she's mean to Arthur. But at least her mom tells her that what she's doing is wrong. Well, not in the spelling bee contest though. Number 7 is Arthur and the Crunch cereal contest. One of my favorite episodes of this season is one that has a catchy tune, and I don't think and I get that Arthur wants to. I think this is really relatable. Arthur wants to win the Crunch cereal contest, but I knew that he put DW's name instead of his because he knew that it was DW's song, but he just replaced Nadine with Crunch. The ending, however, is what drags this episode down to number 7 only, and not one of the top 6 or top 5, more importantly. Because I just feel like it just doesn't seem as rewarding. Arthur gives credit to DW in this episode, and I really like the jingle he made, and he and DW made, kinda because Arthur added Crunch and replaced it with Nadine, but it was mostly DW song. It was really catchy, and it being shown on TV was actually pretty. What made this even catchier? Number 6, Arthur's New Year's Eve. This is the perfect finale for the season. I mean, its ending is the perfect way to end it because it shows moments from a previous episode or previous episodes. And that's what I like about it. It was also pretty funny how Arthur wants to stay up so that he can see what New Year's Eve party is like. And all of his friends tell him what the New Year's Eve party is like. When Arthur once again misses it, Thora tells him that it's okay, because at least he had a good year. Number 5 is Arthur's teacher trouble. Arthur's Teacher Trouble is one of the most suspenseful episodes of the entire series, but it's not just but it's not I just don't I not only do I like it because it's suspenseful, I really like how it's also pretty funny, and also ends with Arthur appreciating Mr. Ratburn for who he is. Number 4 is Bully for Binky. One of the most rewatchable episodes because it's the real introduction to Sue Ellen, unlike Sue Ellen Moves In. Although I really like this episode, and of course it's one of the top 3 because anyways, Bully for Binky is a really fun episode to watch because it shows that Binky never fought anyone despite him being portrayed as a typical school bully. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good for that's actually a sign that the bully of your show is actually really well written. I'll continue with my top 3 in the next video.